Hello from Fair. We are here at Hülshorstweg 20 in East Westphalia, where the global Beckhoff headquarter is located. So we have our development here, our management, our support, our service team and many parts of our production. But actually it's the week of the Hannover Fair, Friederike. Why are we in Fairland, not in Hannover?
Well, first of all, Felix, of course, everyone, at least once in a life, and if it's digital, should be in Fair and enjoy this wonderful countryside here in East Westphalia. But maybe that's not the only reason, although we really both like to be here, as you know. I mean, we were born here. But as the world is welcomed in Hanover, we thought, only being like 1.5 hours away from Hanover, it would also be a nice opportunity to invite customers over to Fair, to our headquarters, and meet all the departments you just mentioned and get to know not only our processing technology, which will be shown on our exhibition booth in Hanover for sure, but also really meet our people here, get a better understanding of the different departments, and hopefully have also a better understanding of our values and how we are organized as a company, etc., etc. So a perfect program in total.
So really worth spending a visit here because it's the beating heart of our company. But now let's get to the hard facts. Hannover is always the time for business numbers. So how was 2023 for Beckhoff Automation?
Yeah, that's true. Well, 2023 has been the third year in a row, which is an extraordinary result from our perspective.
Yes.
So we achieved 16% in growth in terms of sales after achieving 28% twice within the 2 years before. So to sum it up, we reached a total number in sales of 1.75 billion euros, which is still a giant number for us, to be honest, but also a number we are proud of. But also a number now we have to make sure somehow to maintain it or get back to it within the next couple of years again.
Yeah. It's very, very impressive. I actually sat with a customer a few days ago and we looked at our growth chart and I saw the year 2020, 900 million euros in turnover.
The absolute number is massive.
The absolute number is massive. So we doubled in production, not from 10 million, from 900 million. So it was a huge effort.
Yeah.
But let's look at the present and the future maybe. How's 2024 going so far?
Well, you know, the situation there looks a bit different, but the important message is that it was expected to be as it is now, because we have this kind of heat wave, maybe we can call it, within the last 3 years. You just talked about the absolute number and also the relative number says exactly the same. So after having this heat and this high point in terms of sales and also order income, everything decreased. I wouldn't say dramatically, but at least drastically. So you can obviously see it. And this is also something we see now. But it seems that we reached the bottom line and for now it goes back. That's what we're thinking. And that's what the numbers are already starting to show. So end of Q2, beginning of Q3, it should be better. But of course, at the end of 2024, we won't reach the same result as we did in 2023. But that's, again, okay.
So the automation market is cooling down a little bit as anticipated. You are an economist and you also have your eyes always a little bit on the rest of the world because automation is everything for us but not for everybody. So maybe you can shed a light on the external factors around the automation market and what's to expect from there.
Yeah, I think there are always two different parts we have to analyze while analyzing the entire situation. And the first part is related to the factors we can have an impact on ourselves. And you know that we are now 44 years almost old, so we were founded in 1980. And during this entire time over the decades, we come over 5, depending on how you're counting it, maybe 6 crises, where we had exactly the same development over the years. So we have a really high point, then afterwards they get a low point because everything slowed down. And this is something we are now seeing as well. But the market itself is regulating itself because after a high number of order income, there's always following a low number of order income, and then it steadily slows down and gets back basically to a normal base. And this is what's currently happening. So these are the factors we also can implement a bit ourselves, adjusting to these situations, as we already know that will come every 5 to 7 years actually. But then there are the other factors which are a bit more concerning, and not only for us, but for everyone, I think. And these are the factors more related to political and also geopolitical things. So, you know, there are a few of really important elections coming on within the next couple of months or 1 to 2 years. And this is, I think, the outcome of these elections are kind of guiding us at least a bit into the future. And I just can hope that the people make the right decision.
Yeah, we hope so too, because we really rely on the world market. So most of our turnover
Absolutely.
is generated abroad.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to help us
Yeah.
to have a successful year.
That's great.
Throughout all these market developments, throughout all this structural change in different industries, we have been for many companies a very reliable partner in the past. So we always try to supply them with the best controller, the most performance in the IPC, a big I/O system. What else can our partners, our customers rely on?
I always like to compare it to a relationship or even a marriage. You go to good and you go together through bad times. And this is also true for us and our customers. And this means in the end that you really need to be able to rely on someone and trust someone, and that you also need to share the same values and understanding of the most important and common things. And by saying that, I mean that I think that the overall portfolio of kind of support and service we are delivering to our customers, should be something every customer should be aware of and should really be seen as maybe USP, but at least as a big value, because we really want to be this partner you can rely on. Doesn't mean you solve everything within the next 2 seconds, but it means that in the long term you can rely on someone and you really know that there is someone who takes care of me.
Yeah. And this we do independent of customer size, so we are there for everybody.
That is important.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a very important factor, and many companies have grown with us into very big customers from a very small stage on.
Yeah.
And I think this is a perfect transition back to Hannover. Thank you, Friederike, very much
Felix.
for your take on everything, as always. We look very much forward to welcome you in Hannover and back to Hannover.